What's up guys, welcome back to another video. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is David, and today I will be showing you exactly how to scrape leads, put them into a CRM, and no, I'm not talking about Go High Level, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about a CRM called Close, where you can essentially call people, text people, as well as email people as well, instead of having to do all that on your iPad, laptop, or your phone. Obviously SMS and Apple and even Android has come up with a regulation where if you send out too many calls, texts, your phone number can be flagged and get blocked. If it happens one time, not a problem. You can always appeal that. It happens the second time and third time and so forth and so on, then probably it won't go to the third or fourth or fifth time, but two times or third times it's going to get flagged and it's going to be a problem and an issue for you and your personal number. And then you're going to go through all like the hassle of talking to your phone provider and whatnot. So I want to make sure that I show you guys how to scrape leads, make sure that you get out in front of more people to be able to cold call them, or even messages as well. Messaging and cold call, they're not exactly the same, but they're very effective in their own unique way. And I will be showing you guys how to import all those leads into the CRM, and I'll give you guys a complete walkthrough of how to set everything up and then just pretty much go from there. So without further ado, enough talking, enough chit-chatting on my side, let's get straight into the video here. Okay, perfect. So we are in Google Maps right now. Obviously, I want to show you guys exactly how to scrape leads. So what you want to do is first, before you go into Google Maps, you want to download Instant Data Scraper. So what you'll do here is obviously click this. If you guys don't know what this is, just go into Chrome Store. So obviously Chrome Store here, and then we'll come into Chrome Web Store, and obviously just type in Instant Lead Scraper. Once you do that, then obviously there should be like a app. I think it's just because I already downloaded Instant Data Scraper. Sorry about that. Instant Data Scraper. You can see right here it's already installed. So this is the one that you want to make sure that you install. Once you install it, now you can have it pretty much plugged into your extensions, right? Once you have that in place, obviously easy peasy lemon squeezy. You could just essentially go onto the Google Maps and scrape leads however you want, right? For example, let's say for the purpose of this video, chiropractic clinic, right? So what we're gonna do is obviously, I guess I leaked my address here as well. So obviously you guys now know where I live, which is Austin. But we're gonna come into, obviously for the sake of this video, into Las Vegas, right? So we're gonna make sure that we're gonna zoom in here and how much area we wanna cover. If you wanna just cover this area, we can. If you wanna cover the whole entire area, we can, like this. So what we're gonna do is called chiropractic right here. And then now it's kind of like zooming out and making sure that it's scraping all the leads, right? So what you want to do first is make sure that you just scroll all the way down here, and until you reach the end, right? You want where it's going to come up a little bit right now. So as you can see, we've reached the end, right? So once we do that, what we're going to do is essentially come into here, click Instant Data Scraper, right? And now what we're gonna do is come out here again, and then come back into Chrome Store, come back, and then now you can see that it's essentially, CSV, right? So it's essentially scraped the whole thing, the whole list right here. You're gonna come back, make sure that you hit CSV, and now you're gonna just drag and drop it here, right? And obviously that's how it's gonna work, right? So I'm just gonna put in keep both for now. Click X out of here, and that's essentially how you scrape leads. And same thing goes for window washing, right? We're going to put in window washing here, right? Window washing Las Vegas, it's scraping all the leads here, and then just click this, click that, and it's going to scrape the whole thing, right? If you don't scroll all the way to the bottom, if you're just like staying here, all it's going to do is just scrape all, the amount of like leads that just like kind of load. You see how it's like there's like a loading screen here? It's only going to scrape the ones that are loaded. The ones that haven't loaded, it's not going to scrape. So you want to make sure that you scroll all the way to the bottom, make sure everything's loaded. And that's how it goes, right? So that's essentially how everything works in terms of scraping leads, but very easy peasy, nothing too hard. And now I'll be showing you guys exactly how to import all of these leads into the CRM and how to set your CRM up as well in general. Okay, solid. We are in close.com now. Obviously, if we come here, we're gonna put it in close. And this is exactly how everything is gonna work, right? So close is a CRM, and obviously I know, sorry, my camera died. But now we're back on. But anyways, obviously Close is a customer relationships management here. Obviously, no, this is not sponsored. Close, if you want to sponsor me, please, I'd love to be sponsored by you guys. But anyways, this is exactly how it's going to work, right? So obviously Close, with the payments and everything such as that, you can obviously see the integrations that you can add in. For example, there's HubSpot, Gmail, Google Calendar, Fathom, Calendly, WhatsApp, Zoom, and so on, right? There's definitely there's not unlimited integrations. There's obviously some No, it's pretty flexible, right? Obviously, there's some limitations, but it's pretty flexible in terms of integrations. Now, if you want to see how the pricing works, you can come here. So we're just typing close pricing. So close.com pricing. Typically, it is going to be costly. I wouldn't say costly, but you can essentially pay $49 a month. If you're just starting off, annual is $35 annually, but I am personally on the growth plan, which is making sure that there's multiple. So if you have setters, obviously you guys don't really need to worry about that if you guys are just starting off, which I assume most of you are just starting off, right? Do not worry about this at all. Completely erase that. Get that out of your mind. Just look at this right here. It's going to be $50 a month. So that's essential. What it's going to do is give you the phone number, the email. It's essentially giving you everything. So now that instead of you having to call people every single time, now it's essentially transferring the phone calls over to this specialized, centralized database, right? So how that's going to work is obviously we're going to come in. We're just going to hit try close. If that doesn't work, then we're just going to come in and see this is how it looks like, right? So obviously this is just my personal, I'm not going to go into like the sensitive details, but this is essentially how it works, right? So opportunities, I'm not going to go into that. Opportunities tab is mostly about just like setting up your opportunities. So for example, follow booked, appointment booked, and stuff like that. And I'll show you exactly how to obviously do that in terms of, when you book on a lead. But it's very simple, right? So for example, this is the emails, how many people have sent you an email. So this is kind of like how everything works. And don't mind the emails. I mean, I never read my emails anyways. Calls, how many people have called you back? And yes, I do have a lot of missed calls. I never really pick back up. I wish I should. It's a bad habit. Messages, this is where people will send you messages. I'm pretty good at that. You guys should, and obviously this is more of, when people send you messages. Tasks is when you essentially get people to, follow up with you and stuff like that. And the reminders as well. Very simple, right? So what you'll do after that in that case scenario is obviously do that. And then don't really worry about potential contacts. That's not something that you need to really worry about. But obviously leads is essentially, making sure that you have, this is all your contact information. This is where all of your leads, your past, the people that you want to essentially bring in, it's where you store everything, right? So this is exactly how you're going to essentially implement the leads that you scrape from the lead scraper into here. So what you're going to do is add plus, import leads and data, and drag and drop this right here, right? So once you drag and drop that, then what you want to be making sure is that you might be wondering, like, what does this even mean? Like, what the hell is QBF1PD, right? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to hit the Google copy, open this up, and you see how that it says up here, like the QBF and 1PD. This is where you're going to essentially put in there, you're going to auto-populate the information. So for example, QBF1PD is going to be select name. And if you just want to skip this, because obviously this is HFPXQ is kind of like this whole thing and you don't really need this information, just come here, skip, right? The only ones I really use in my personal scenario is QBF1PD. I would use WFSSD as well, since that is the description of what it is. So I'll put in description, description, right? I'm going to skip this right here, skip this. And then another one is I am going to skip all of these actually as well, right? So I'm going to skip all of this, skip, and I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to do this as a USD 1K. So what this one is going to be phone number. So I'm going to hit phone, and you can see USD 1K 7 is the phone number, right? Everything else I am going to skip. Once I do that, I'm going to hit continue, start importing. I'm not going to do this since I already, have a huge lead list. So once you're done with that, it's very simple. Just start importing, and once that is done, that is it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's a 1, 2, 3 step 4 process, right? So once you're done with that, and if you want to essentially, save it as like a specific number or like a specific name, what you're going to do is just come into here, right? Save as, and just name it, right? For example, like window washing, chiropractic, at Las Vegas, and then just kind of, just put it at that, right? And what you're going to do is just save it. And that's really simple, right? So obviously I'm just going to delete this since I already made one. So I'm going to delete the smart view. But that is essentially how you can use it, right? So obviously Close has a lot of features. Obviously the purpose of this video is just to show you guys exactly how to put everything in place. Contacts I already showed you guys, right? Conversations, this is when you guys can see what the timeline of when you called people and when people called you. So you can see the call recordings as well. You can see the history, you can see the activities, right? You can see the reports of how many dials you've done today as well. As you can see, I've done 71, not too bad. And then your smart views is where you can essentially keep like your smart view list and like your lead list as well, right? And I'm going to come show you guys exactly the integration. So obviously there's integrations like I talked about, account, appearance, you guys can, change everything. memberships, and then team management. You guys don't really have to worry about that. Roles and permissions, it's only when you guys want to bring in more setters and just people to call in for you with as well. Any team member as well, right? You guys can essentially invite. The only thing that I would recommend you guys do is essentially get to be A2P compliant. So if you guys don't know what A2P compliant means, there's a regulation where you need to be compliant by submitting a form or request to be able to be approved to send messages out, right? If you don't have that, you can't send messages out. Just like how we come in here, we click this right here. You see how like we're able to send out messages right here. If you are not A2P compliant, you are not able to send out messages. But that's essentially it. So that's gonna be another video. Obviously, I want to show you guys how to do that if you guys want to do that for yourself right now. But you'll just come into where is it? We're gonna come into, I believe since we're already A2P compliant, we should be good. But let me see. I'm just trying to find it. I think since we're already A2P compliant, we're good. But if you guys want another video where I just create another whole brand new, just closed account for you guys to be able to make sure that you guys know how to be A2P compliant and how to set it up for that as well. Very easy. I'll create another video if you guys want. Just leave it down in the comments below if you guys want it as well. But other than that, that's pretty much it in terms of getting leads and then putting them onto close. And essentially just getting A2P compliant, and you're just kind of going from there. But without further ado, that's kind of the whole video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments below for me. Cool. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys got some clarity and context of how to exactly scrape leads and put it into a CRM. Yes, I know it's $50 a month, but it's very worth it. I would genuinely do it. That's not even a word. I would genuinely do it because it's very beneficial, very time efficient, and although it's not really, if you think about it, it's pretty cost effective as well. The amount of time that you're putting in to go on your phone, manually putting in leads and scraping leads, even if you already know how to scrape leads, but the time that you're putting them manually in your phone and calling them and stuff like that, it's going to be very, very time consuming, and it's not really time efficient and cost efficient as well. So definitely try it out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you guys want another video of how to set everything up and close, where I show you guys the snippets, the templates to use, how to auto-populate automations, how to set up, obviously get your A2P compliance as well form, pretty much set up and ready to go. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to create another video for you guys. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.